Today in this video, I am going to share with you one of the hidden esoteric teachings that actually have the power to transform your life completely. So if you dig into this kind of teachings, these kinds of topics, please make sure you are giving this video a like, because it helps with the YouTube algorithm and it takes this video to other people who will benefit from this kind of teaching. And without any further ado, let's get to the video of the day. So today, I want to talk about the biggest illusion that has been used, or a technique, or this teaching has been hidden, and because it has been hidden, people do not know how to maneuver themselves or actually help themselves out of this. Remember, knowledge is power, but knowledge in of itself is potential power. But transforming knowledge through action, that is what we call wisdom. So you can transmute knowledge into wisdom through action. So whatever I'm going to teach you in this video, if you don't transform or transmute that knowledge through action into wisdom, it will serve no use unto you. And today I'm going to refer to a hermetic principle known as the principle of polarity. So for people who are new to these kinds of teaching, we have what we call the hermetic principles, or what we call the universal principles that actually govern nature, because the universe is actually a place of order and balance, and for it to have that kind of order, there are laws, there are rules that actually apply to each and every individual, regardless of your race, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your ethnicity whatsoever. These laws apply to every individual, whether you are aware of them or not. They will still apply, and that information has been hidden for centuries so that people do not emancipate themselves from mental slavery. But today I'm going to teach you that in the hopes that it will elevate you from the matrix world and enable you to raise your vibration to become a free and enlightened creator that you are born and meant to be. So this principle of polarity simply states that everything is dual in nature, meaning that we have polar opposites. Okay, things work in opposites. For example, we have hot, we have cold, we have good, we have evil, we have day, we have night, right? So that is simply how the average person perceives of reality, in the form of opposites, whereby things always have their polar opposite. Okay, and that is how many people perceive of reality, and with regards to the events that actually happen in their life. So when things are happening in your life, most people actually end up labeling things, saying that this is good and this is bad. And the moment you shift your perspective on a situation and you look at that situation as either positive or negative, the way you perceive of a situation actually entails how you are going to experience that situation. So for example, if something happens and you label it immediately as bad, that is what we call imposing judgment. You have judged that situation as being bad. That means that everything which comes from that situation will be perceived in the negative way. And when you perceive something in the negative way, it brings about the negative emotions, or what we call low vibration emotions, such as fear, guilt, apathy, depression, hopelessness, etc. etc. And these low vibe emotions are projected into the universe, and once they are projected, you end up attracting similar things. Remember the basic law of consciousness: whatever is impressed in your mind must be expressed. Whatever you input in your mind you will see the output of it. Okay, so when an event happens, when a circumstance happens, and you immediately impose a judgment saying this is good or this is bad, you end up limiting yourself in the physical third dimensional world, or what we call the matrix world. But if you are an enlightened creator, or someone who understands esoteric teachings, you will know what we call the law of energy, which simply states that everything is made up of energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be manipulated. This simply means that everything, all the phenomena, or what is happening currently, past, or what will happen in the future, is simply energy. And energy is neither good nor bad, it's simply energy, and it can be manipulated. So what energy simply has is what we call different levels of vibration. So for example, the reason why you are able to see my physical body, it's because the vibration of the atoms are very low. The lower the vibration of atoms, the more visible they are. The higher the vibration, the less visible you are able to see them. So right now, there are things which are happening. There are brain waves, there are waves that are moving at this present moment, but due to their higher rate of vibration, you cannot be able to perceive them. The same is also true for what we call your astral body or your spiritual body. We have spirits. We are spiritual beings that are having a human experience in these physical bodies. But the reason why you cannot see the spirits with your naked eye is because the level of vibration or the level of movement of the spirit is very high, to the point whereby your physical eyes cannot detect of that. But that does not mean that they do not exist. So energy has high vibrations and low vibrations, but they are all energy. And simply because something is of low vibration, it does not mean that it can be changed into higher vibration. That's why we said energy can be manipulated. You can manipulate energy. You can make energy to raise, to vibrate at a higher vibration from the low vibration that you do not want. Okay, so how do you actually apply this principle in your day-to-day life? This is how you do it. So since you now have the understanding that everything is made up of energy, even the so-called negative or bad outcomes in your life are simply energy, and it is your work. Instead of labeling it as bad or good, you work on transmuting that force into the higher vibrations. So how do you do that? You do that by what we call non-judgment. So how do you apply non-judgment in your life? So let's say an outcome has happened, something which you would generally label as bad. So in this moment, instead of labeling this thing as either good or bad, because now you understand that it's just energy on the lower frequency, you actually work on transmuting it to the higher pole. So how do you do it? You change your focus. Okay, so let's say let me give an example with what happened to me recently. So recently I went to a concert. It was at a showground. If you guys are familiar with it, it's called Uhuru Park for those who are Kenyans. So there was a show at Uhuru Park. So, and that show, artists were coming and performing and stuff. So I happened to be there. Okay, so I was having a good time. Had a few drinks. Then I got drunk. The next morning, I was robbed my phone and some of my personal items, right? So for an average person, for a person who lacks understanding of how things really work, they will immediately react to that outcome and label it as bad because they lost an item. But since I understand that everything is simply about energy, I focused my energy or my attention to be able to transmute that event into a higher vibration. So how did I do that? So the event happened, okay? So how, instead of me labeling it as bad, I shifted my perspective and saw the good side of it. And the good side of it is something worse could have happened to me. Maybe I could have got injured, or something bad could have happened. But instead of me seeing the bad in that event, I chose to see the good out of that outcome. I chose to become biased. It's called delusion. I chose, instead of labeling it as bad and reacting negatively to it, I was actually grateful that I was not harmed. It was only the phone that got stolen. And through that change or shift of perspective in that outcome, it enabled me to have what we call internal peace. And when you are at a point whereby you have that internal peace, it means that you are not attached to that outcome. It means that you are totally detached. And once you are totally detached, the universe senses that energetic field or vibration that you are at, and then it ends up balancing the outer reality. So guess what? 3 days later, I ended up getting a new phone. It just happened. So that is how you simply shift your focus from the negative to the positive. Because understand this, the events or outcomes which you perceive as negative, you only perceive of them because you are looking at them from a lower level of awareness. But if you're looking at them from a higher perspective of a person who has understanding, you will know that nothing is bad, nothing is entirely good. Even the good thing which you see it as good, it has the ability to turn into something bad. And what you perceive as generally bad, it can turn into something good. So what you call good and bad are just intertwined, because what you call good will ultimately lead to a bad thing, and what you call a bad thing will ultimately lead to a good thing. That is what we call the balance of life. So when you understand this, you stop reacting to life, you stop judging events. And once you stop judging events, you've just opened up yourself to experience infinite possibilities in this realm, because you came to experience life. You are an experience of life. So the moment you understand that there is no duality, there is no polarity, there is no opposite, there is no good, there is no bad, everything just simply is. How you react to it, how you approach that event will determine its connotations to your life. So start living a life of present moment awareness and non-judgment and non-reactivity. And if this video has been of help to you, it has been of benefit to you, please, once again, if you didn't do it the first time, like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel, so that the next moment I post or upload enlightening videos such as this, you become the first person to be notified. And if you are also willing or you desire to enroll in our one-on-one or physical self-mastery coaching sessions, please message me on the number or the email on the description of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay awakened.